Should Konate have been sent off in the Merseyside derby for my Reds? The football fan in me says yes. The Liverpool fan in me says no, too soft of a challenge. Now, the first one arguably was definitely a yellow card. Dragged him down, properly dragged him down. Arm over him, took him down, right? The second one, if I'm going to be charitable, it was a brush against the chest at best, and Beto fell over like a sack of potatoes. I can see why that would have been a second yellow if Craig Pawson wanted to be generous and give him another slice of cheese. I can also see why it wasn't given, because it was such a soft foul to concede. It wasn't a proper dragging down. He didn't drag the jersey back. If he did, I understand. If he chopped him down from behind, I understand that too. But it wasn't. And again, the football fan in me says yes, he should have been sent for consistency's sake. But as we've seen, anything in the Premier League, if there's anything that's if there's anything that's consistent, it's the inconsistency with the referees. Now, Mark Goldbridge was adamant that Konate should have been sent off.
Konate gets a yellow card, and then second incident, takes the player out, takes him out. It's a technical foul. He knows what he's doing. If Pawson says no foul and play on, fine. Everton fans could go, well, it should have been a foul. It should have been a yellow card. But when Pawson gives a foul for the technical foul by Konate, he has to give the yellow card. By his own rules, by his own way of officiating the game, he has to give the second yellow card. And then to go, no, you almost see his brain going, it's Liverpool at Anfield. I don't want to give a second yellow card here. You can see him. He knows in his head, and it's a problem. That shouldn't be happening. But also, in the same bloody game, mate, you've just given a player a red card for 2 yellows. And in the same game, somewhere in your brain, you've bottled it.
Ultimately, he wasn't. Liverpool went on to win the game 2-0. Cole Palmer, on the other hand, for Chelsea against Arsenal the other day, scored the opening goal, which was a penalty conceded by a handball from William Saliba, which header on target, arguably. Arm was out. Again, how's a defender meant to jump? They can't jump with their hands by their sides and whatnot, but it's just bloody handball rules, yeah? And that was a penalty put away from Cole Palmer. Some would argue he should not have been on the pitch because he went in for a challenge on Gabriel Jesus and stomped on his ankle. Didn't get anywhere near the ball. You can argue he attempted to play the ball, but because he didn't get anywhere near it, he chopped down Jesus, who was down on the ground for about a minute or so. They went back. Sorry, it was whatever. I think he got a yellow card, if I'm not mistaken. No, he got a yellow card. But there was no VAR intervention. There was no have a look at the screen, check out what may have happened, because if you're going to look at Curtis Jones's challenge on Basuma a couple of weeks ago, he got a yellow card overturned to a red. You want to say, okay, well, we have to look at Cole Palmer's. They didn't check Kovacic's, though. They didn't go to the screen for that one against Arsenal. He plays for Man City now. They should have gone to VAR. That should have been looked over by Michael Oliver. He said, no, it's just a foul. The first one definitely more of a chance of it being a straight red, but if anything, the second one definitely was another yellow card. So if you're talking about consistency, yes, Konate should have been given a second yellow, but by the same token, Kovacic should have probably been sent off for the first challenge, if you want to go that route. And again, Cole Palmer, lucky to maybe not be given a red card as well. But again, I can see why maybe he wasn't given as a straight red early in the match. Was it really a bad challenge? He caught him with a bit of studs, and studs to the ankle does hurt a fair bit. I've copped it myself. And maybe playing at Stamford Bridge for whatever reason just wasn't, I forget who the referee was, just wasn't given as a foul. And Palmer goes on to score the opening penalty, and we know how that game finishes, 2-2. But the one that caught me by surprise, I did not see this, and Terry from the Football Terrace, we're going to watch a bit of a clip from his reaction to this as well, was Sanchez, Chelsea's goalkeeper, coming out to punch a ball. He got nowhere near it because he got cleared by a defender or an attacker for Arsenal, I can't remember. But he's gone straight through Gabriel Jesus. No on-field call by the referee, no linesman flagging, no call to VAR to have a look and suss out and say, hey man, something's happened here. Because we all remember what happened with Anana against Wolves in the first game of the season, which arguably gave Manchester United 3 points in that game, because that should have been a penalty and possibly would have been maybe a red card. Maybe that would have been harsh. Definitely a penalty. Punched the guy square in the face. Like, he gave his best Rocky impersonation or his Roman Reigns Superman punch. But arguably they could have finished 1-1, last kick of the game, and United would be 2 points worse off than they are right now. But it wasn't, and same thing here. Sanchez absolutely runs through Gabriel Jesus. No on-field decision from the referee or the linesman, and no VAR check when Howard Webb said that there should be VAR checks now, at the very least.
And this is one that I kind of overlooked during the game. Maybe I turned away and was making notes, because obviously I don't know what I was doing. I kind of missed this one. And then I saw footage of it last night and thought, surely that didn't happen. And then you watch it today, you go back to what Howard Webb said. How has this not been checked? He made no contact with the ball whatsoever in any capacity, and then goes through the player, as you can see at the end of the clip there. Goes absolutely through the player, smash, doesn't touch the ball. In fact, no Chelsea player even touches the ball. So how was this not reviewed, and how was this not given as a penalty? When you go back and you listen to what Howard Webb said to Michael Owen very recently. Listen again.
To an intervention by the VAR. We should have seen a video of you being recommended, and the referee should have gone to the screen.
So the very least should have happened. He should have gone to the video screen. And this is what I mean. I don't want to hear any BS, any nonsense, any rubbish, that this is because of subjectivity. Because objectivity is what should have come into this situation. This is a case in point of factual information from the head of the association that the goalie coming out, missing the ball and clattering an opponent should have led to an intervention.
All we're going to see now is when referees get the slightest of touches and they fall to the ground, or they put their hands up and they complain to the referee, they're probably going to get the calls. But when they literally knock out or close to an opponent, when they're coming for a ball and they miss it for a punch or whatever, there's no review at a minimum. There's no on-field decision. There's no, hang on, you may need to check this out. I mean, Howard Webb said it himself. We heard it there from the clip. You know, should be automatically something being intervened. You have to suss it out and check it out for yourselves. I mean, a player's been KO'd. Why has the player been KO'd? Did a defender knock him out in mid-air? Did his own player knock him out? And again, he's been knocked out. That's a hard fall. You watch Jesus fall down. He falls flat. That is not good. It almost reminds me of when Drogba went in for a header many years ago. I forget who was playing against, and he got punched mid-air and the guy just dropped. And I actually thought the guy died on the pitch. No shit. He just KO'd in mid-air, and the way he fell, so fucking bad. Man, I still remember it. That was so bad for Drogba. You can have those situations happen. So I think referees should see this. If a keeper comes out to punch and something's happened, they jump up high. Player goes for a ball, or he's held down or whatever, he can't jump up. He can cop a knee to the face, he can cop ribs to the face, something to the head. They go on about all these head injuries in football. That's how these things can actually happen, especially in the crowded penalty box where you don't know whose legs flying around, you don't know whose elbows flying where. So they need to review these things. How VAR did not say, hey man, someone's been absolutely KO'd in the box, didn't get anywhere near the ball, even though they attempted to play it. You should check this out, because again, it's not intent, it's endangering the opponent, remember? I intended to play the ball, yes, but you missed the ball and you got the player instead. They were KO'd, effectively, not literally, but effectively KO'd to the ground. Ergo, you endangered them on the pitch, and we need to come back and flag it, call it for whatever it's going to be. Free kick, penalty, yellow card, red card, whatever. They should be doing these things. Evidently, they're not. Keen to see what happens now with the goalkeepers moving forward, because we've seen 2 instances this year already. One very obviously not called, the Onana situation against Wolves for Man United in the opening game. And this one here now, Sanchez against Jesus, Chelsea versus Arsenal only a few days ago. So, interesting. Goalkeepers under scrutiny for not goalkeeping, trying to play out from the back, misplacing passes, doing all sorts of weird things, but now also for knocking out players in midair.